Now, on bag surgery, we have the slow reveal local Cougar. Bought these bags off the website because I've never had a set of local bags. I wanted to see what they're all about. They get so much praise, you see them everywhere. They stay true to their original font and layouts, like pretty basic stuff. And they got this Pro blend resin we're going to check out too. These are ACL certified bags, 2021-2022 current bags. And something you'll probably notice right off the bat, a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. And it's something else you'll see here too. Look at the difference in this sublimation. So right off the bat, that was a lens. Right off the bat, not as sublimated. Still could use more sublimation on this one. This might have been in a cooler part of the press or not enough pressure. We'll get a close-up look, but you can already see that it's only partially sublimated, like 70-80%. This other bag, how's that compare? I think this is the darkest bag. My other kind of gripe with the sublimation on this back fabric, it takes color well. Like there's no reason that this should be darker than this. We got a third bag, other than settings on your heat press and maybe the amount of ink on your transfer paper. Case in point with this black. See the black on the back of this bag? Same fabric, but look at the black. I mean, maybe this wasn't supposed to be black. Maybe. I think it was supposed to be black. But see the difference in color? Even if we're holding the two right next to each other, see that difference in how dark it is? We're very excited to get into this bag too, because this is the whole point of the show, really. This fabric and this fabric are the same fabrics as this bag. The Cornhole Solutions Character 77. This was a limited edition. Well, yeah, Character 77. There's the same fabrics. See the weave pattern? It's the same fabric, trust me. And this is the same fabric, but totally different feel. This feels very, very loose and floppy. This has a nice full feel. Like you can really, I mean, this just has, you can grip it. These aren't even broken in yet. And once you feel a bag full like this, anything with less fill just feels kind of weird. Like to the point where I got these, I held them, I was like, oh, I don't know. And I started to really like, you know what, that does feel really good. And then I said, man, I gotta do a blend on my bags. So I did. All our bags now have a blend. Not a pro blend, but it's a mixed fill, so to get a little more volume out of the bag. Because this just feels really, really good. They feel really tiny. They feel like the WTF bag we did a while back. But at the same time, feel some sharp edges here. We'll see what we got. See how much is really blended. But yeah, I can tell you right away, this is a single pellet fill. That's how it feels, and it feels very loose. Maybe that's what you like. Maybe you like a looser bag. Maybe you like a fuller bag. They will play extremely differently because of what's inside. The fabrics are going to slide, but this is going to dissipate energy a lot faster. This is going to carry further. You can probably see the difference in thickness here. Yeah, maybe not, but here's a good way to, here I'll show you. You get what I'm saying. We're going to attack this bag. It's got the automatic bar tacking. They got some videos on their social media. You can see the one machine they use. I think they do the template stitch. It would look like they did all the template stitching with the machine, then they changed out the clamps and changed the program and did the closing stitch. So this is a bit wider than your average down and back zigzag type of stitch. Well, let's get in there. All right, looks like we're finally in. Let's see what we got here. It looks dark in this bag. Ooh. Is it even a blend? Let's get it in the bowl. Okay. The good news is we got a double seam, a triple in some parts, and they traced the line with a pen. You can kind of see it there. I think that helps them line it up in their automated machine in the clamp. We're going to take a close-up look later. I think yeah, it's just double stitched. But here's what's got me kind of in a kerfuffle. Let me make sure we're focused. Okay. Pro Blend Resin. Blend. Now you just ask yourself, does this look like a blend? Or does this look like one single type of pellet? There's pellets stuck to these fabric threads. I don't want to get them out because we changed the weight of the bag. We're going to get close up and we'll see if there really is a blend right now. Well, here it is. Small black pellets, same size and shape as the WTF bag, which explains why they felt the same, because they do feel the same. I think it's plastic and not resin, hence the weight is lighter. That's why it's so full. This is like a remnant piece of scrap plastic, probably recycled. Looks likely it's recycled. They sure are tiny though. I am not seeing a blend here. Let me pull this little pellet into view. It's gray. But if that's what we're calling a blend these days, well, we have lowered our standards. Now maybe someone can chime in and tell me what the blend is. But I have to say that this is not a blend. This is a straight fill. And this is why we do these types of videos, to uncover what's really going on with these bags. Now granted, like, Local's not trying to charge, $1 zillion for the snake oil type of stuff like some other companies. But let's just call it for what it is here. Just call it, nice plastic fill. Small pellets, Pro Resin Blend. I mean, come on. That is not this. But you be the judge. The evidence is before you. You be the judge. Inside of the bag, we know it's a automated machine because they posted videos of it. What's neat is they still took the time to draw the line. I'm assuming this helps them line up where the clamp is going to go. But this is 2 stitches. Yeah, maybe the bobbin ran out. Actually, we're looking really close, which we are. It's to kind of intersect. Now, what do we got going on here? A double stitched inner? Is that what I'm seeing? That's a first. Well, we've seen BG with the 2 stitches on top of each other, but they didn't have the outer stitch. So Local, okay, they did draw the line all the way around. This is the bottom left corner of the bag. It's human hair. Coming up. But here we're down to 1 stitch. All right, that's what I figured happened. Somewhere around here. Where are we? Somewhere around here, the bobbin ran out. So they had to stop the program or let it run and finish, and then change the bobbin and redo it all over again. So that's why there are 2 stitches here and not 2 stitches, where are we? Here. Just the 1 and the 1. It happens. It happens to me all the time, and you can see where the bobbin ran out right here. Bobbin is what is on the bottom. It was good of them to double it over instead of just throwing it out, because these are still totally usable. Neat stuff. That closing stitch, man, what a pain in the butt. That is a nice closing stitch. Going all the way across, easily covering the holes, the opening hole. Yeah, black on, that pole is me, I did that. Black thread on black fabric. That was really smart of me to do when I bought these, because my goodness was it hard to take apart, that closing stitch. It's like polyester thread, smaller thread, probably a 69 or a 40. Again, just a guess. Not many people really use the big thread like I do. They are really close on these edges of the bag though. That's a real tight cut. And I'm guessing that they use scissors on this, so that's time consuming. This is the other fabric. Both these fabrics are from the same company, so if you find one, you can most likely search and find the other. Good stitching here, good stuff. Close-up time of the print, sublimation, the show side. We got a little gradient going on in the font here. The font is called Magneto, just like the X-Men character, Magneto. Pro single pellet resin, plastic. Here's that closing stitch, which was, my goodness, a pain in the butt to take out just because I couldn't see the thread. And it's really tight. This is a really good stitch. In fact, I can't even really see it on my monitor here. I know it's there. You see the zigzag, and it goes down once and back again in a zigzag. But it is definitely a good one, and just hard to see. So if this was a red bag or a white bag, it would be plain and obvious. And they do have good stuff. Very good closing stitch. This is that back side, the slower side, that I said didn't look very all black or dark black. It looks more like a Sharpie. If you're looking at it, it looks like it's coated with a Sharpie. So I would like to see better prints if they're gonna make some changes in their production line. Because like this is the print that I was saying, see the white in between? If you're doing black, really any color, on this fabric you need to do high heat, high pressure. Otherwise you're gonna get a slightly faded look. Here's another bag that looked like it did have more pressure, just because of the way the fabric feels. Like these little bumps are smashed down a bit, and they'll come back with play. But that's how I know this one had a little more pressure. So maybe it was, if they're using a clamshell or something, this might have been towards the back of the machine, towards the hinge. Measurement time, and we're gonna weigh later. I forgot to do that. It looks like a bigger template off the bat. And it kind of would have to be to accommodate for the amount of pellets that were in this thing. I'm gonna go off their line that they drew. Yeah, almost 6.5. It's 6 3/4, 6 7/16, somewhere in between there. The opening hole per pen is 2 inches, and in actuality, it is 2 1/8. No big deal. That's more for their alignment. It is neat that they still trace it around while using an automatic machine. That's excellent. I think they use an automatic machine. I'd have to take apart another bag to really tell for sure, but if you look at this corner, like it kind of bumps out a little bit. So this may have all been done by hand still, because this isn't even on the line. Yeah, maybe this was done by hand. Yeah, we went ahead and did another bag just to see if it was possibly hand stitched. And I'm going to say that these are sewn by hand on a machine instead of an automated machine. These are definitely sewn by hand. You can tell because it's... here's the first one we did. You can see right here the line. I'm going kind of inside of it. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Guys, not a big deal. And on this one, they're mostly on that line. pretty darn good. Good stitch job. You can see the difference in width of the second stitch here. As far as pointy as the corners felt, like this is a big round. It's about 1.5 inch round. Cat's going crazy. Same fill. No gray pellets in this one. You know, what really threw me off thinking they were machine done was one of the videos they post of their machine doing the stitching, and two, that bobbin ran out right here, and if you're going around and then restarting the whole stitch, that just seemed odd to me, like they restarted the program. But like my bobbin runs out here all the time, runs out here. I just double back over it a few times with the new bobbin and keep on trucking. That's just me. Final weight, 15.8, 15.8, 15.8, and hey, 15.8. So this should weigh 3 pounds, some odd, 2 times 4, 8. Hey, right on the money. They're all consistent. That's a good average. 15.8 ounces. What does that mean? It means that last 0.2 ounces would probably be too much. It would put this bag over the edge of fullness. It'd be like stuffed full, and they wouldn't really bend or flex much. These aren't broken in yet. When they are, I know they're going to be super flexy, whole, floppy, drippy, getting the holy, stuffy type of thing. So, my final thoughts on the bag. Well, we'll start with the cons so we can end on a positive note. Con number 1, not fully sublimated, very light sublimation. Con number 2, looks like a Sharpie. It was colored as a Sharpie instead of being straight black. I'm assuming they went for black. I'm assuming they went for black. It is not black. This is not black. That is Sharpie. Number 3 con, Pro Blend resin. I mean, you be the judge, you're the consumer, but in my eyes, that was not a blend, and it was not resin, it was plastic. And maybe plastic and resin are the same thing. I'm not an expert on that. Sure felt like recycled plastic to me. Sure looked like it too. Another con, well, that about does it for cons. The rest is gravy. Okay, it feels awesome. I'm liking that full feel. Get a nice grip. It's not gonna, like, when you throw it, this isn't gonna whip over when you throw it. It's gonna stay where it's at. It's not gonna get any funky movements in your movement. Another pro, this is a good fabric. Super flexible. It's gonna play really well on a lot of boards. Very forgiving. You need to get in the hole, use this side. Good speeds on the bag. I think that I'd say this is a 6 or 7, somewhere in there. This is an 8 plus. And with this being so full and the type of fill that it has, this plays more like a 9. And this probably does play more like a 7. I call this a 7-9. Rawr, Cougar bag. Overall, very good. That closing stitch, nice, zigzaggy. These are sewn by hand. Pretty interesting, because they have the machine. Maybe the machine's down and they had to go back to sewing by hand. I think these are filled by hand too. I'm guessing on that. I'm guessing they're filled by hand because they're all accurate. But yeah, it's a nice. It's just a nice. It's pretty cool that it's a pro bag and it's hand stitched, and they get these bags out fast. So that tells me they're working their butt off making bags. I've seen the pictures on their Instagram. They got a lot of stuff just going through the chain. Boom, boom, boom. Sew it, fill it, close it, ship it. Okay, do I recommend local bags? That's 2 videos in a row I said Reynolds instead of the actual brand. Do I recommend local Cougars? Yes, I do. What I want to see improve is the sublimation. Maybe get a little bit better printer that can do actual black. Get you a better heat press too that can give even pressure, even heat, a lot more pressure, a lot more heat. Maybe a little more time too. It might just not have been in there long enough. This might be a 20 or 30 second press or less. But I think it's important to have, the stuff looking as good as it possibly can. If your name's on it, I mean, that's your rep. And they have a good rep, so that's why I'm just surprised to see he's a little half sublimated. Okay, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. Get your thumb.